Hey, I'm Josh with Thomson Air Conditioning, and I'm going to explain to you how an air conditioning system works, at least as best I can. So for air conditioning to work, you're going to have an indoor unit and an outdoor unit. Up here, we have an example of an outdoor unit. That outdoor unit in our warehouse handles 6 different indoor units. So follow me this way, I'll give you an example of an indoor unit. This above Mr. Brandon's head here is an indoor unit. This indoor unit handles just Brandon's office, but it doesn't matter if you have mini splits like we do, or if you have a central system with just a gas furnace or a fan coil in the closet. Maybe there's a contraption up in your attic. You're always going to have one indoor piece of equipment, one outdoor piece of equipment. Here's an example of an outdoor unit. This is commonly referred to as a condenser. It has a compressor inside it. That compressor is deep down in here. It's like the heart of the air conditioning system. It pumps, if you think about a human body, it pumps what would be blood, but we use refrigerant throughout its vascular system. So it uses refrigerant piping, like this stuff is insulated, or we have some old scrap refrigerant copper piping over there that's dead and needs to be recycled. But through refrigerant pipes, pumps it from this guy into your indoor piece of equipment, your indoor unit, which is a good example of something like this. This is laying on its back. It can be stood upright. It could be on its side, usually never on its back. The refrigerant gets pumped from this guy out to this guy. Now, how does it make your house cool? That is the question. Well, this refrigerant in the compressor gets squished down real tight. The compressor actually, it's a scroll compressor. It brings it through a series. It's basically magic, but it compresses the refrigerant down really tight. And since heat and pressure are directly related, we say temperature and pressure directly related, that refrigerant gets super hot, right? And that super hot refrigerant, it's a gas, right? Super hot gas gets compressed in that compressor, and it gets sent out of the compressor into this kind of radiator coil. All along the outside of this unit is a coil, and it's like a big radiator. When that hot refrigerant is going through there, it actually condenses down. It actually forms dew. It condensates. It turns from a gas, it rains, condenses, and goes into a liquid throughout this. You've got a big fan in here, and so you've got this hot refrigerant going through here. Well, how does the hot refrigerant get cold? I'm getting to that. So hot refrigerant getting cooled off by this fan. By the time it leaves this unit, we got a couple ports on the other side. This way. When it leaves this unit on this little guy, it sends out basically lukewarm refrigerant to the indoor unit. Now, the indoor unit receives that refrigerant here, and it's got a coil inside. Now, that lukewarm refrigerant gets split up into like 10 different pipes. So essentially, the pressure can drop, right? We take basically one straw and feed it into 10 equal-sized straws, and all of a sudden, the pressure drops. When pressure drops, since pressure and temperature are directly related, the temperature of that refrigerant gets really cold. Actually, to do it just right, it gets just above the freezing point, right? Usually like 35, 30, is below 40 degrees, but it has to be above freezing or this thing turns to a block of ice. So, refrigerant in here gets nice and cold. It goes through all these pipes, and the air from your home gets fed through this unit. Goes past that cold coil, and what happens? This cold coil picks up all the heat in your house. The heat gets transferred through the coil and into the refrigerant, and then that refrigerant in this nice large pipe goes out nice and cold, and it'll go out into this guy. Having picked up heat, it feels cool because it's under low pressure, but it's actually picked up a bunch of heat from your house. Like I said, the coil temperature is usually around 35 to 40 degrees, hopefully-ish, depending on the type of system you have. But then after it picks up all the heat, it might be a little warmer than that because it's picked up heat from your house, goes back out to your condensing unit here, where it's ready to take all the heat from your house, squeeze it down into a nice concentrated package in this superheated gas so that it can be cooled off again by this condenser. When you think about which pipe's hot and it sends warmer liquid, then it comes back, we don't have to worry about any of that. Basically, this thing cools off the refrigerant and sends refrigerant with low amounts of heat to the indoor unit where the refrigerant with low amounts of heat, it's translated into a type of gas that can pick up heat, takes the heat from your house and brings it back to the outdoor unit. All it is, it's a big loop, taking heat from inside the house and expelling it outside the house. That's basically how refrigeration and air conditioning works. We're just moving heat from one place to another. I'm Josh with Thomson AC. Thanks for watching.